see how well this works with the wind out here on the beach. But here I am in Biloxi, Mississippi, and I got to tell you that the cold weather has scared off all the spring breakers. When I got here last night, there were a bunch of college-age kids hanging out in the hotel pool, which is heated, but they weren't very happy about not being able to frolic on the beach in their non-clothes. I've got Jonathan Livingston over here sneaking up on me. I don't know if you can see him. I'm wearing a tuxedo today. Jonathan Livingston there sneaking up on me, so I can get that reference from your old college preparatory reading material. Anyway, midway through my journey home and having a great time. A lot of long rides. I did, I think, over 700 miles on the first day. Oh, there's Jonathan Livingston. No, that's not him. All the birds are protesting or questioning the fact that I have a camera sitting on the ground. They're certain it's food. At any rate, nothing like a good cigar on the beach. This has definitely been restorative for me. A lot of working on the East Coast. I'm ready to be back in Arizona. I'm ready to be back with my family. Thank you to all the people who have made this trip possible. My family, my friends. Yeah, this is completely restorative. We'll give you a look around Biloxi before I roll out.
It's a little windy out this morning. That's what everyone keeps warning me about. Well, hello, Biloxi, Mississippi. So by now you guys have seen some of the intro footage. I'm just going to dole around town here just a little bit before I hit the road and head on out. So Biloxi, Mississippi. So I remember as a kid coming out here in the 70s, and I remember the beach, I remember the pier, I remember the lighthouse right here, which was still blinking when I came in last night, and I remember that old house right there, and some of these older manors that we'll be looking at as we drive out. And what's so funny about it is that this whole area used to be covered with these really old southern homes, but I guess through hurricane damage or just, getting old, they're just not around anymore. And a lot of them have been replaced by these huge casinos that you saw as I was coming in last night. It was really pretty incredible because I don't remember all the hotels and casinos when I was a kid out here playing on the beach. It's kind of funny how things change. Like I said, I don't know if some of them were blown apart by hurricanes and this is what replaced them. But it is what it is. This place kind of reminds me of like a Laughlin, Nevada now. Pretty interesting. And baseball park, I do not remember that. So in the 70s out here, I remember, some things. When you're a kid and you live in places for short periods of time, there's little things that stick in your memory. What I remember about Mississippi was that the sand fleas, right? There were sand fleas everywhere. And the sand fleas, if they invaded your home, would get in your carpet and live there. I remember that. Of course, we were also very poor at the time. I also remember that the ships coming in and out of the bay would blast their horns, And I remember my older brother telling me that that was the sound of them killing whales. That those were the whales crying. I mean, you know, brothers say absurd shit to each other all the time. But I just thought I'd ride through some of Biloxi here and let you all see it. I didn't live here for a long period of time. I think it was about a year. But it is what it is. Like I said, a lot of the old Biloxi appears to have been replaced with new Biloxi. And of course, I don't know my way around. I'm just heading to the thickest part of it and what looks like some of the older districts here. But you can see even some of the old buildings that are still standing, they're renovating them and popping them back up. I see a lot of this across the country as I've been driving and riding across country. There's still beads on the road from the Mardi Gras ceremonies. I think it was a week ago. So when people think of Mardi Gras, they typically just think of the of New Orleans, right? But all of these Gulf Coast cities celebrate it. Man, they've got the roads tore up around here. This is Main Street. I wanted to go down, but it looks like it's blocked off ahead. Like blocked off with large piles of dirt. Yeah. So I guess I won't be going that way. It's funny, I know all the BMW guys can talk all the trash they want to about their BMWs, but I noticed this bike has the same cold morning throttle that the Tiger does, so yeah, you can save that argument. Look it, I can't turn right. This is crazy, man. It's like the streets are all bombed out everywhere I try to go. It's so weird. I don't know what the deal is here. Here's some of the older houses I wanted to get on video. So there were houses like these way out there on the beach where all the hotels sit now. Just kind of makes me wonder what happened to them, you know? Did they just get old, raised, and then the property was sold and developed? Did they get blown away by hurricanes and that's what grew back in their place? So I understand that communities like this, they struggle to bring income and industry to their towns, so tourism will be a thing. And that includes the casinos and the gaming and the big hotels on the beach. Totally get it. But, there was something, I don't know, maybe my childhood brain romanticizes it in my adult brain, but there was something about that old Mississippi feel to Biloxi. You know, Biloxi was sort of the Mississippi's Riviera, if you will, or the Mississippi's playa that, folks in Mississippi who were maybe of the working class variety would have a place to go and visit the beach rather than yielding that coastline to more wealthy people that occupy those areas in other states. At any rate, I just wanted to stop and run through some of these older neighborhoods and give you guys an eyeful of it. A little place that I lived in as a kid. Yeah, the houses on stilts are pretty common everywhere along the coast. Totally get that. Yep, and more casinos over there. You get the Golden Nugget, Harrah's, all sorts of interesting stuff. I realize as far as coast goes, this may not be the most beautiful coast. You know, with everything you've got in California and Florida and the East Coast, but to an Arizona boy, this is actually pretty nice. This is actually pretty nice. And I really enjoyed the time I had here. And you know what? This was I said it before, this is very restorative for me. Standing on the beach, having one of my favorite smokes, drinking a cup of coffee, listening to the seagulls beg for whatever food I might throw at them. Wind blowing in from the water. It doesn't smell like low tide. That was one of those moments. That was one of those moments that all the work you put into getting there really made it worth it. That moment really made it worth it. So, welcome to Biloxi, and goodbye, Biloxi.
Get away from the time-lapse camera, buddy. I know what you're up to. It's not food. If you take it, well, there's nothing I can do about it.